this anxiety that we're having is blocking us from becoming our higher selves, blocking us from getting access to higher timelines because maybe you're scared to make the next move. Maybe you have fears of being seen. Is going to bring self-awareness on why you feel it, where it stems from, and release them. It is all about building up self-awareness and how you feel. So you no longer have to feel these things. You're making the conscious choice and the conscious decisions to no longer feel fear. And you're making that choice to eliminate it from your life. Hi, so family. Welcome back to my channel. We talk about all things to heal, grow, and evolve. And today I want to talk about metaphysical tools or practices you can use to help with anxiety. If this is your first time watching, welcome. My name is Sage, and on this channel we talk about things such as spirituality, metaphysics, and African history. So if that's something that you're interested in, just keep on watching. I talk about anxiety a lot because this is something that I dealt with a lot as a child, and even till this day, I still deal with it. So having chronic anxiety is really annoying and it's tough, but it gets easier to heal from it. And there are different aspects or different perspectives. There's different levels of anxiety depending on what you're anxious about. And it's a healing process, it's a healing journey. And many people don't really know how to heal from it, what to do besides going to therapy or taking pharmaceutical medications. But that may not be the answer, or that may not be the way for everybody. So I want to give my own perspective for what helped me the most out of all the things that I have done through metaphysics, through metaphysical tools and practices that help me deal with these anxieties. If I had anxiety come up, I'm able to heal it. I'm able to transmute them at a greater rate. So I'm not sitting around wailing on my anxiety. So some of you may know if you watch my older video, but I am a licensed registered nurse, and I used to work on a neurosurgery floor in my hospital before I quit my job. So me dealing with anxiety, seeing my patients suffer through anxiety, even seeing my coworkers suffer with anxiety, I'm able to observe what they did, observe what helped me, and what I recommended to my patients who were dealing with anxiety and wanted to learn more about what they can do besides the Western medicine, besides pharmaceuticals. So let's start with this. Anxiety is due to many imbalances in our body. It's through, the first one could be root chakra, imbalance in the root chakra. Our root chakra is the most earthly chakra we have out of the 7 chakras within our spine. The root chakra deals with safety, deals with security, deals with feeling that you're protected. It deals with all of the 3D physical things on this earth. Being able to pay your bills, being able to get food, water, shelter. Do you even feel safe within your own home? Do you feel safe in your environment? Are you able to walk around freely without looking back at your shoulder twice? That's what the root chakra mainly deals with. Anything with the 3D physical world. So if we have an imbalance with our root chakra, this means there is some sort of imbalance that is giving us anxiety about our environment, about people within ourselves, things that we're consuming. There is some type of imbalance within that. That is what that anxiety is stirring up and causing our chakra wheels to spin the opposite direction. That's what causes an imbalance. Anxiety is also an hormonal imbalance as well. Increased cortisol, which is your stress hormone, and also an overactive sympathetic nervous system, which is your fight or flight, and not having the ability to be able to turn it off when it's not needed. So your sympathetic nervous system is constantly on go, go, go mode due to many different reasons. And if you're not able to shut it off, or if it's not shut off at the time it needs to be, when you no longer need to have that in your life, is going to cause a lot of imbalances, going to cause a lot of physically, bodily disruptions, bodily reactions to having this nervous system constantly on, because it's not supposed to be constantly on all the time. It's only supposed to be used when it needs to be used for fight or flight, and then it shuts off after it's done. But with anxiety, you're having this overactive sympathetic nervous system running in your body. And because of that, you're not really able to feel relaxed, rest, or be at ease. So let's talk about the first one. We're going to do things that are pretty simple, and then we'll work our way up. So the first one is a simple body scan. I like to call it the emotional head to toe assessment. When I was a nurse working on the floor, the first thing we had to do was head to toe assessment on our patients. So instead, I want you all to do head to toe assessments from your body. Assess your head. How do you feel? What sensations are you feeling? And then move down. Or you can start from your feet up. whatever feels the most comfortable. You need to assess what is your body feeling? What type of emotions are you feeling when you scan your body? You can first do just a regular scan, just noticing any tensions, any aches, any pains, any crackles in your body, just a simple scan. But eventually, I want you to move on to actually feeling different parts of your bodies and noticing any tension, noticing how you respond to it, noticing how you feel. And then you can use this to really determine, where do you carry tension? Where do you carry stress within your body? Where do you hold stress? Is it in your shoulders, your stomach, your legs, your knees, your joints? Doing this will help you build self awareness, and you can do more self assessments when you feel like you're overstressed, you've overworked yourself. You can feel like anxiety is coming up, but you're not really sure. You can do this simple self assessment. In doing this, you can notice specific parts of your body has reactions, and then you can discover, why is that? Is it due to anxiety? Where did it stem from? How did it come about? So, this is a great way to begin self awareness. Your body communicates with you all the time. What you're feeling in your mind, your emotions, your body reacts to that in the physical. It gives it a physical thought. Your body gives your emotions some type of physical reaction. So, you have to be aware of what you're feeling and what it feels like to be anxious for you. What does it feel like to be stressed out for you? Where does that tension carry? Where do you feel that within your body? This is what you're pretty much doing with these bodily scans, these head to toe assessments. I also want to mention, fear is stored in your kidneys as well. And looking at it from the 7 primary glands in our body, which is associated with the 7 chakras in our body, the root chakra deals with the ovaries and the testes. So if you have maybe complications there, or if you've been having any type of sensations there, aches or pains, that could be also contribute to anxiety or any type of root chakra imbalance. Another tool that helped me with anxiety is mudras. I love doing mudras because mudras is just energy motion, energy manipulations within your hands. We all have energy points within our palms. And so when we do mudras, we're moving that energy within our palms, and we're moving that energy throughout our bodies. So different positions, different postures within our fingers will vibrate at different frequencies, vibrate with different emotions, vibrate with different intentions that we are setting. And so I will leave up a picture, or I'll probably do some type of demonstration on what mudra that I do to release fear and what it's called. I mostly do this when I'm meditating, because you can combine mudras with meditation, mudras with yoga. But the main one that I do to release fear and my anxiety is that main mudra that I will demonstrate for you. But there's plenty of other mudras you can search and look for, depending on what specific things you want to work on, what energies you want to shift in your body, and whatever your intentions are, there's a mudra for that. But that is the main one I personally use, and I feel like it's helped me. The next one I want to mention is yoga. Yoga is really good for anxiety. Yoga is pretty much, instead of mudras where we move the energy within our fingers, we're moving energies within our whole entire bodies. When we're doing yoga, we're doing different yoga poses. We're accessing portals. We're accessing gateways within our body. We're tapping into the emotions of whatever chakra that is activated with these poses. So if you're doing yoga for a root chakra, you're activating your root chakra to release any fears, release any triggers, traumas, release anything that is blocking that within you. And these emotions of anxiety may come up when you're doing yoga because it's meant to be felt, processed, and released. So if you're feeling anxious, you're feeling that fear while doing yoga, it is meant for you to feel it, heal it, process it, and release it. So it's no longer stored within your body, but instead you've transmuted that emotions of fear into something of high vibrations to help you instead of harm you. So yoga is something I definitely recommend for you to do and to start implementing. The next one I use is herbs. I've talked about herbs in my video about the 5 spiritual elements. I absolutely love herbs. I use herbs to help me with calmness, anxiety, chronic anxiety. The main one I've used and I was recommended by a herbalist was ashwagandha, and that's something that I still use to this day. So I use ashwagandha. Another herb that I've used that helped me is holy basil. Holy basil is really good for anxiety and stress relief. Chamomile is good. Lavender is good. I don't recommend getting the tea bags, y'all. Get the actual loose leaf tea and then use that because it's more fresher. It doesn't come with a lot of processed ingredients, any chemicals, anything to have to spray to keep it fresh. So I recommend getting the actual loose leaf tea, not the ones in a tea bag. And don't do the most with it. Teaspoon with a tablespoon is all you need. You don't need to chow down a whole gallon full of herbs. Don't do the most. Just a teaspoon or a tablespoon of these will help you go a long way. Another one is meditation. You can meditate for pretty much anything, whatever intentions you're using for meditations, that is what's going to help you with that. You can use meditations to release anxiety, meditations to heal, build self-awareness within yourself. When you're meditating, your eyes are closed. You're going within your subconscious mind. And when you're going to your subconscious mind, things may come up. But like I said, the same thing with yoga. The reason these things are coming up because you need to process them and release them. So it's no longer within you. So when you're meditating, sometimes you may cry. I cry a lot when I meditate. When I cry with intentions to release anxiety, release fears, crying is a good form of releasing. Tears are a good form of the energies that you're feeling, the emotions that you're feeling. It's being released through water, which is your tears, because water represents emotion. So when you're crying through meditation, that is perfectly fine and it's perfectly healthy to do so because you're releasing. And while meditating, you can listen to music, which goes to my next topic. It's hertz frequency and binaural beats. And these are really good to incorporate while sleeping, meditating, yoga. You can mix and match and combine these practices. 396 frequency vibrates to release any blockages and hidden things within our subconscious mind. It brings it to the forefront to be released. So this helps eliminates fears, worries, doubts, anxieties you have. And it also helps eliminates feelings of guilt and any negative emotions, any negative patterns. So that one's good. And I was also reading a case study that was done for nurses during COVID who listened to 432 hertz specifically in music instead of the 440 typical baseline hertz that they use. And the case study found that the nurses and the healthcare workers who listen to 432 hertz, it helped them reduce anxiety. So hertz frequency and binaural beats is really good to implement in your life if you haven't already. The fourth one is my favorite one. Some of y'all may know what I'm going to say. Shadow work. When's the last time you did some shadow work? When's the last time you purposely, intentionally did some shadow work in your life? I will wait. Okay, it's time for y'all to start doing your shadow work. I need to be doing shadow work to help build self-awareness. Shadow work is going within the deep darks within your subconscious mind and pulling it into the light. It is not something that's supposed to be feared. We're doing shadow work to eliminate that fear in the first place. We're doing shadow work to eliminate what fears is blocking you and stopping you from elevation, from ascension, from becoming the best version of yourself. This anxiety that we're having is blocking us from becoming our higher selves, blocking us from getting access to higher timelines because maybe you're scared to make the next move. Maybe you have fears of being seen. Maybe you have fears of judgment, fears of what people say about you. Or you just have fears of just being or just having the worst case scenarios run in your life. Shadow work will help you eliminate these fears. It's going to bring self-awareness on why you feel it, where it stems from, and release them. Saying y'all need to be doing shadow work, journal prompts, journaling, writing a letter to yourself. It is all about building up self-awareness and how you feel. So you no longer have to feel these things. You're making the conscious choice and the conscious decisions to no longer feel fear, to do something about this fear, to do something about this anxiety. So it is not just so that it doesn't control your life. You're in control of it and you're making that choice to eliminate it from your life. That is what shadow work is all about. It is assessing what is causing my anxiety in my life and what can I do to get rid of this situation? What can I do to heal from it? What can I do to get rid of this anxiety so I'm able to live a happy and fulfilled life? The last one I have on my list is inner child healing, which kind of goes hand in hand with shadow work. I wanted to be more specific with inner child healing. So a lot of things that we have within our childhood could be the base of our anxiety. If we have unhealed or unresolved childhood trauma, that could be what's stemming with your anxiety. That could be the root of your anxiety without even realizing it. This is why I go so hard to building up self-awareness within yourself. And going back to the body scans, the head to toe assessment, you can analyze and you can assess what parts of your body is feeling anxious and where that stemmed from. and it could go back all the way to childhood trauma. If you had childhood trauma, you're able to realize and connect the two on why you're feeling this way. Unprocessed and unhealed childhood trauma shows up in adults in many different ways, and it can be through anxiety, it could be through anger, it can be through pent up resentment, hatred for the world. It can show itself in many different ways. So it's good to do inner child healing, to know what your younger self is telling you to do. You figure out what your younger self wants, figure out what your younger self needs, and you give that to your love. You pour that love, you pour these needs, you pour these desires your inner child wants, you pour it back into yourself. And now you have that connection to your inner child. Now you have that direct communication system. And so once that younger you and the current you as an adult is fused, it is merged as one, you're able to walk through life looking at things from a child's eye view. So you're more creative, you're more passionate, you can see things from a bigger perspective. You're not hiding things, you're not being in fear as much because you have that merging of your younger self in you. And these are the main tools that I've used to help. So I really hope this video finds you well. I really hope you implement some of these things. Let me know what metaphysical tools you have used or you're curious about, or the ones you're going to use. They're the ones I mentioned, or if you have used it and you practice it, let me know how it worked for you and what changes you made. What bodily assessments did you feel? All of that good stuff. Let me know down in the comments. I want to hear your stories. I want to know what helped you. I want to know what helped you. And even if things that I didn't mention, let me know what helps you with your own anxiety and how you feel about it. So if there's anything else specifically you want me to talk about, let me know down in the comments, y'all. And until next time, I will see you on the next video. Bye, y'all.